I want to tell you today about a social skill that I use a lot with the children I see who are on the autism spectrum. One of the areas where they run into trouble is that sometimes their voice and their words and their body language don't match up and all send the same message. And so when I talk with them about that, we try to look at the different messages we can send with our words, the different messages that we can send with our tone of voice, and the different messages that we can send with our body language. Now to do that, I'll often use some kind of visual aid. So I might have a whiteboard or even a piece of paper like this where I'll put out the words, the voice, and the body language, just like I have written it here. And then we'll take a simple message such as, "It's really nice to see you." And we'll talk about ways that we could use those same words, but give a different message depending on what voice we used and what body language we use. So we might act it out, and I might say in a sincere tone of voice and with appropriate body language, I might say to them, "It's really nice to see you." And then we might act it out with a different tone of voice where we might say, "It's really nice to see you." So we've used the exact same words, but we've used a different tone of voice. Or we might do the same thing using body language where we might say, "It's really nice to see you," without making eye contact, or "It's really nice to see you," looking down at the floor, or even more expressive, we might include some eye rolling or making a face of some kind. And what we try to work on is trying to have the three parts of the message add up so that they all match. And I also role play this with the kids, and we look at if the voice and the body language don't match the words, then which one do people believe? And research shows, and the kids all see this usually quite quickly, that if they don't match up, or for those of us with more advanced language skills, if they're not all congruent, research shows that people believe the voice and body language message if it doesn't match the message in the words. So we want the kids to see that, and they can usually see that really quickly. We put out a message with a different voice or different body language, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I would believe the message that was being given by the voice or by the body language." And so we work on trying to get those three things to match. And then a nice way to supplement that would be with some video self-modeling. So that means that you would take a video camera, or you might have it on your smartphone or something like that, where you just take a short video clip of the child giving a message that matches using their voice, their words, and their body language. I usually encourage, when we use video self-modeling, to have them do it using the positive skill, where they all match, rather than, for instance, doing a lot of clips of how they don't match, because that could sometimes reward some negative behavior. But if you have them do like a short video clip of how they all match, and then it can be helpful to have other people that might be with them, you as a parent, if it's a parent that's watching, you might be able to show them how, when their language and voice and body language all match, how that makes you feel, versus how it makes you feel if they send a different message with their voice and body language, because that can help them develop their perspective taking skills about how the impact of how their behavior impacts other people. So this is a really easy way to work on the skill, and I also find it's helpful then for parents to be able to give their child feedback about communication. So if the child says something in a negative tone of voice or with body language that isn't very effective in conveying their message, that the parent can just give them this more neutral feedback, which is to say, "Oh, I don't think your voice matched your words," or your body language didn't match your words. Can you try it again and try to make them match? And that can be a lot better than, for instance, saying, don't talk to me in that tone of voice, which is maybe the more natural thing we might want to say in some of these situations. But it can just provide some nice neutral feedback for the child. We can ask them to restate it using a different tone or using more appropriate body language. And especially the body language part, kids are often just not in tune with. So they're not thinking about how if they don't make eye contact with someone when they say it, that it might give a different message. Or if they're making a face because they're thinking about something else, that might send a message that's different than what they intend. So try this out with your child and see how it works. My name is Barbara Lester, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I work with children who are on the autism spectrum and who have a lot of other special needs as well. If you're interested in this kind of assistance, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel or go to my Facebook page at ASD Specialist on Facebook. So thanks for stopping by.